Everyone take a deep breath in and down. Okay, we have a very, 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 very special session here. This girl, she's super talented. And I always have her here because every time she comes on here, she teaches something different. She's amazing. You want to know more about tomorrow's stuff, like channeling and all that type of stuff? This person's an old soul. She's amazing. Like literally, like I was learning from her when she was 9 or 10. It's ridiculous, right? But she speaks so much sense. Allow the message to land for you. Allow whatever she speaks to go through you, and just let the message land. It's very powerful. Okay. Please, could we give it up for the amazing, inspiring Vanessa?
Slides, so I'm going to distract you guys while the slides come up. So how's everybody doing? Yes. I was kind of getting a little bit tired at the back because I was a little bit scared if Eric had forgotten I was going on stage, because I was so ready after lunch, and then obviously I had like a chocolate biscuit before it, so once your energy goes high, it goes really, really low. So I was like sitting down trying to keep myself awake, but now I'm on stage, I'm good for you guys, so don't worry. So as Eric said, my name is Vanessa. Let's get into the slides. So I'm actually really excited about today's presentation because I never actually touched on this topic before. So can anybody guess what today's topic may be by looking at the photo on the wall? Can anybody shout anything out? Selfies? No? Around that. So it is the truth about being an influencer. And it's something that people don't really explain to you about becoming an influencer nowadays, so by myself. So before I get into this presentation, let me just introduce myself to you guys. So my name is Inspiring Vanessa, and I'm an international speaker, international multi-award-winning motivational speaker, YouTuber or vlogger, so basically influencer at the same time. And I'm also an author, child presenter and artist. I'm the author of 3 books. One of them is an audiobook and the other 2 you can see on the board. One of them is called The 5 Secrets to Public Speaking Success, and the other one is called Vanessa's Book of Quotes. And this idea basically came to me when I was thinking everything that YouTubers or people on Instagram might post, do you actually think if they're actually true what they post or not? Because obviously there's so many things where you can Photoshop photos, Facetune photos, put filters over it so it looks nice. But obviously once you make 50 selfies, you're going to pick the best one to post on your Instagram, aren't you? So I think everybody comes to that curious part where you're just like, what does go on behind the camera? Because you may look at lifestyle vloggers and they do daily vlogs, and it may seem like you know their life inside and out, but do you actually know their life inside and out? So that's how this idea came along. I will be giving an inspirational twist to it at the end, so don't worry, it's not just a TBD, it's also inspirational too, so just letting you guys know. So let's start off with something that to refresh our minds. So, can you guys recognize any of these influencers on the board? Can anybody yell something out and I'll write it on the board and we'll see if we're correct? Okay, cool. So we have A's Family. I can't write that fast. Okay. What else did we say?
PewDiePie.
What did you say? I heard someone say Zoella. Yeah, okay, go on.
Which is which?
Anybody else can tell me?
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie, yes. So I've got enough to see if we were correct. If you've got any others that you may recognise, then give yourself a pat on the back. So let's see if you guys are right. So we have A's Family at the bottom here, who actually has over 10.8 million subscribers in only the amount of 2 years, which is absolutely incredible. I'm one of their followers and I follow all of their videos and they are absolutely amazing. Then obviously at the top we have Zoella, which is actually a British beauty vlogger who has over 12 million subscribers. Then we have Lily Singh, who's actually very popular because she does comedy videos and she also does lifestyle videos. And fun fact about Lily Singh, she's actually the richest female YouTuber on YouTube, which is absolutely incredible, with over 14.1 million subscribers. Then PewDiePie, which is just so insane because he's the most subscribed channel on YouTube and he's actually gained over 10 million subscribers over 1 year, because last year he got 15 million subscribers and now he's at the rate of 65.3 million, which is crazy. Like, I don't even know what the percentage of the world that is, but the fact that you can get that many people to subscribe and watch your videos is absolutely incredible. Then at the bottom, I wanted to mention a kid because obviously as I'm a kid myself. This is EvanTube, and he started off by doing toy reviews and then he started doing challenges with his sibling and he gained over 3.5 billion views, not million, billion views on YouTube and has 5.3 million subscribers. In case you know, that is a lifestyle vlogger that some people may know. I had to do a little bit of research about him before I did this speech, but he's quite a popular YouTuber, and then as I said before, the Ace family. So, something that all influencers I think can relate to is one of those relatable things, or one of those moments that everybody can relate to. And as me as an influencer, I do go to school, I'm not homeschooled, so when you go to school, when I explain to people what my YouTube channel was or what my social media was, these were the main frequently questions I would ask. People would come up to me when I'm just casually eating my food and they would be like, Vanessa, are you rich from YouTube? I swear you start getting paid when you hit 1 million subscribers, right? How many subscribers do you have? And basically, when I'm trying to eat my food, and I don't know about you guys, but I love food, people will ask me all of these questions. And what I tell to everyone, or people who ask me so many questions, is in order to understand, in order to understand the media is to become a part of it, because that way you can understand how it works. Because if you never try something, you'll never know what it's like. And everybody says, oh, YouTube isn't that easy. You just post a video, you put a thumbnail on, and people start watching your video. But actually, there's so much more stuff behind it, YouTube, about doing different things that make your video out in the public. Because if you just post that, if you do exactly those instructions, you're not going to get any views. So there's some whole entire stuff behind YouTube that you need to learn. Obviously, once you start going and attending to YouTube events, and you start learning from other YouTubers yourself, and obviously starting YouTube yourself too. Now, as an influencer, it can be quite a struggle, because let's say when you go somewhere, and first of all, you need to post an Instagram story, perhaps do a little bit of a boomerang, then you need to post on Facebook, then you also need to post it on Twitter from Facebook, then you can do a little cute Snapchat filter. And while you're doing all of that, you're actually, or subconsciously, warning yourself out. And basically how this happens is you keep telling yourself you have to keep up with the media, you are going to go quickly from passionate to becoming worn out. Because if you keep telling yourself, oh, I need to keep up with the trends, I need to post this, I need to post that, you're going to start getting yourself stressed out. And that's not the whole point of being an influencer. An influencer is about helping people and about making an impact. An influencer is someone who is not only on social media or a YouTuber or a content creator, it's someone who helps people or makes an impact on people and makes them want to come back to watch your videos or to check up with what you're doing to find out what you're doing. Does this make sense? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have a little bit of an example here. So, there is a thin line between being passionate and becoming worn out, as I just said. You can switch from one or the other. It's not like it takes a while to become worn out. You can go from worn out in the click of a finger. Because once you start working yourself out of it, and I'm not saying that working is bad, I'm not saying that being a workaholic is bad, but if you continuously keep working and not having enough sleep and keep stressing yourself out about it and making it as such a priority for yourself, you're going to start becoming worn out about it. So, can you guys let me know which one would you rather like to look like? this lovely lady on the side or this person who just seems very stressed out? Which one do you think you want to look like? Obviously. So we have an arrow to represent that's the bad thing, as you can probably notice anyways. But I think that being an influencer can be sometimes hard sometimes because it can always be a struggle to get there. And being an influencer is a journey. It's not something you automatically do. It's something that you need to obviously gradually create your followers. You need to create your subscribers. You need to get those people who will continuously start following you and support you. Does this make sense? And I don't know if you guys are thinking that an influencer has to be someone who has millions of followers on social media, because that's not what influencer is being about. And as I can see from this whole entire room, that you probably came to Superpower Live because you either wanted to start a business or you want to make an impact and help people. Raise your hand if that's why you came here. Okay, almost everybody in the room. So that basically means you are all influencers because you always want to make an influence to someone's life. It doesn't mean that you need to become an influencer to have millions of followers on Instagram. Oh, I need to have a blue tick on Instagram before I can classify myself as an influencer. I don't have a blue tick on Instagram, but I classify myself as an influencer because I know that everything I post is creating an influence and I'm interacting with my followers, but I'm also giving them an impact because they're always coming back for more. Does this make sense? Okay, amazing. Now, I wanted to help you guys because being an influencer or helping people or becoming a speaker or becoming an entrepreneur or a business owner, it can be pretty hard sometimes. So I created this little free step-by-step pyramid or triangle to help you guys with your self-motivation. But I don't really have to show it to you guys, only unless you guys want me to show it to you. Do you guys want me to show it to you? Yes. That doesn't really sound like you want me to show it to you. Yes. Wait. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, I'll show it to you guys. Jeez. Okay. So let's make our triangle. So we're going to call this the triangle of self-motivation. Now, the first one starts with a P. Can anybody guess what this might mean?
Passion.
Close.
Purpose.
Yes, purpose. Whoever said that, give them a round of applause. So let me just write purpose on the board. Now, purpose is so important. And if you want to become an influencer, the only way how you're going to stop becoming an influencer or stop helping people or becoming worn out, as I said, is if you only do it for the followers or if you only do it to become famous. If you don't do it for a good passion or you don't do it to help people in that way, then you're not going to become one or you're not going to get as much visibility as you would like to when you want to become an influencer. Now, having a purpose is one of the most important things there is. Because you can't just start something if there's not a reason for doing it. For an example, from a child's point of view, if you're doing homework, you're doing it not to get attention, if that makes sense. And if you want to, I don't know, plan someone special, surprise, oh my gosh, I'm a clumsy person. Sorry to break the focus. Or if you're trying to make a surprise birthday party for someone, and the reason behind doing that is because you love that person and you want to give them something to share their birthday. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And there's always a reason behind doing something, which means if you ever want to start doing something, it doesn't exactly need to be becoming an influencer or becoming someone who's known in the public view. But it's just about helping someone, and you always need to have that reason for helping people. Is it to explore, or is it to show more people what you can do? Or is it to show more people how you can help them? Or if you want to, or if there's something special that you see is missing in the marketplace that you want to show to people, there needs to be a reason behind doing it. Because otherwise, when you feel like you're worn out, when you feel like you're tired or you don't want to do it anymore, if your purpose or if your dream is not there to strive you, you're going to stop doing it. And what I always say to people is the minute you feel like giving up, you never actually know when you're the closest to your dream. I can repeat that again for you guys if you guys want to write it down. what I always say to people is never give up, because you never know when you're the closest to your dream. And it's really important because you never know if you're just over here and then you just say to yourself, this is no point, I'm not helping anyone, or I don't feel like I'm helping anyone, so I'm just going to quit. But actually, you never know that there's an opportunity around the corner when you can just keep on carrying on. Because even though it may feel like that, oh, some people have gained many followers, or some people have been travelling all around the world helping people in only a couple of months, and I'm here doing it for 3 years. But that's because everybody goes at their different pace. You can't compare your pace to somebody else. Because if you look at Usain Bolt, and if you look at yourself, I know that because Usain Bolt is the fastest runner in the world, I'm not trying to offend anyone or if you're a sporty person, but I know that Usain Bolt is definitely going to win the race. But you can't compare to him because that's just how your body has been built up. Or that's just how your ability has been brought up to be like. So if you are trying to strive for your goal and you see someone running across you or past you on the finish line, don't try and stress yourself out about it and continue running to beat up with that person, because you need to go at your own pace. Because at your own pace, you can get all these opportunities while you're on your journey. If you rush it, then you're not going to be able to focus on those opportunities that come to your way. So, are we excited for the next one? Okay. So the next one is a routine. And a routine is something that I've tried to improve myself. Obviously, during the summer holidays, kids get to have a little lie-in. It's kind of like the best time where you just get to have that nice sleep and not worry about homework. Well, I didn't get homework over the summer holidays, and thank goodness for that, because I would have been stressing out about it, let me just tell you that. But having a routine is also very important, because if you want to be consistent with everything and make sure that the people are knowing what you're doing or going to a certain event, you need to have that routine and being consistent about it. Because if you're not consistent about it, then people aren't going to exactly pick up with you. Because if you look at me, I do YouTube Lives every single Monday. So if I missed one for, if I missed one for 3 weeks, people are going to seem like, oh, something happened to Vanessa, or she doesn't want to do it, or she changed the date. So that's why people are going to less likely to join on the live with me, because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then they're going to want to log on or try and see and log on to my channel on another day when live isn't happening. And lives are actually really fun to do because you get to interact with your viewers straight away. So if people ask you a question, you reply back to them straight away. And for kids, because most of my viewers are kids on my YouTube channel, that most people really, really want shout-outs. So I'm giving them shout-outs when they go onto the live. So they tell their friends, oh, did you hear Vanessa's doing a shout-out? So then they log onto the thing. I don't know why, but having shout-outs as a kid is one of the best things in the world. I don't know how many times I can tell you that someone has come up to me who I don't even know and been like, Vanessa, can I get a shout-out on your Instagram story? I really need some more followers. And I'm just like, I don't do shout-outs for followers. I do it if you want to support me. Not if you just come up to me and go, can I have a shout-out? Can I have a shout-out? I really need more followers. Okay? I'm not saying that you guys are coming up to me, but I'm just saying in general that's what people do and that's what kids do. So if the reason why people are logging in to get shout-outs or to see what I'm talking about, then that's absolutely great. But at least they're at least they are logging in and they are still hearing what I'm about to say, or if there's something special going on, at least they're hearing it even though they're there for a shout out. And a routine is really important because I don't know if they do on Samsung phones, but they have it on the Apple phone when you just have the alarm clock and you have the bedtime thing. So the time that you're about to go to bed, if you want a certain amount of sleep, so for kids I think the best amount of time to sleep is about 9 hours to sleep. So if I go to bed a little bit later, that means I need to wake up a little bit later. So I still have that 9 hours sleep. Because if I have yesterday 5 hours sleep and today or last night I had 9 hours sleep, my routine is going to be all over the place. I'm going to be like waking up at a different time and be like, I done more things yesterday because I woke up earlier, but I couldn't do these much things today because I woke up later. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So I don't know if they have a certain app on other cell phone devices. I know that they do on Apple because I've always had an Apple. But if there's any way to make sure that you have that same amount of sleep, or at least try, or a similar amount of sleep every single time, you're going to feel more secure, because if you wake up at an earlier time, your body isn't going to be used to it. It's going to be like, why? What? I used to have 3 more hours of sleep, and that's when I'm okay with waking up. Because when I first started school and I used to wake up at 6:30 every single morning, on the weekend, I would wake up at 6:30 every single morning or every day of the weekend, and I'd be like, I just want to sleep in. But my body is so used to waking up at 6:30 when the alarm goes off, my body automatically just wakes up at 6:30 and it's just like, you're ready. You can't go back to bed, or you can't wake up earlier before that. Because if you wake up earlier before that, you're going to feel tired. If you wake up after that, you're also going to feel tired. So you also need to remember, you can't just switch up your routine here and then. You need to make sure it's a habit of your body, because otherwise your body is going to start aching. It's going to start not functioning properly because you're not getting enough hours of sleep, or your body's just not used to your new routine. So make sure that you do something for over 21 days. 21 days means making a new habit. So if you want to try and do something, or if you want to try and write a book, and you're trying to just make sure that there's time in the day to write your book, make sure that you make a time or a slot in your day, or maybe like an hour, to just write stuff in your book. Just have a free head and just write. And then do that for 21 days so your body's automatically ready for it. If you start doing it and then you miss a day, then that means you're going off of your routine automatically straight away. And you may not realise it, but you do things so automatically that you don't even realise that you're doing it, because your body's so used to doing it. If you like drive in a car, or if you drive and then you like to sit in this certain seat, or if someone's driving you somewhere you like to sit in this certain seat, it's because your body's just used to that routine of sitting there. Or if I go on the bus, I like to sit in a certain place just because I like sitting in that place. It might sound a little bit weird, but I think you guys get it. And it's just important to keep having that good routine on and on and on. So, can anybody guess what the last one may be? Can anybody guess?
Yes.
Yes? Can you give me an answer? What do you think it might be? Oh, can anybody guess what the last step might be? Someone said it. Can you? Not goals. Action. Yes. Give a round of applause to the lady in the blue t-shirt. And yes, the last one is A for action. And action is really, really important, because first of all, if you don't do anything towards your goal, you might have the purpose, you might have the routine, and everything just seems to be fine. But if you're not doing anything towards that, nothing's going to work. It's not like if you drive in a car and you just wait for it to drive. You need to obviously I'm a kid, so I don't know how to drive. Obviously you need to drive the car in order for it to work. You need to set the engine up and to make it work. You can't just sit in a car or sit on a bus maybe on a bus that's different. But if you sit in a car, if you're sitting in a car and you're waiting for it to drive, it's only unless it's those self-driving cars. I don't even know if they do that. But if you sit in a car and it's not working, that's because you haven't put any action to it. You can't just sit there and be like, I'm going to become the new Picasso, and just have a painting or have the paintbrush on the side and then just wait for it to do its masterpiece. It might sound a little bit crazy, and it might sound a little bit weird or a little bit silly, but some people actually do that. Some people expect the thing to become into a piece of art once they start putting the paintbrush near the paper, because they're bonded with each other. You know what I mean? So you just need to make sure that you're always putting action into it. Because if you want to change your routine and you're not doing anything, or if you're not trying to wake up at a certain time, then nothing is going to work out for you, because you need to work hard yourself. And as I always say to everyone, you can't get anything without working hard. Nothing comes without working hard. Once you work hard, you get something. That's the same with when you may have been younger, when your parents tell you do the chores or do the dishwasher or do the washing and we'll give you something for it. Or you can go out, you can go and get this special sweet or whatever it is. Oh, lovely sound effect. Or whatever sweet it is, but you're doing that work because you know that you're going to get something in return. That's something that we all need to always keep in our heads all the time. We need to think, I have to do this because I'm going to get something in the end of it. I'm going to get closer to my goal every single day when I'm doing this. So even if that means waking up in the morning and going straight on an Instagram story, because people want to see what you're doing. People love behind the scenes. People don't want to see the perfect Instagram pictures. They want to see your bedhead in the morning. And I'm not saying to embarrass yourself in front of social media, but I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example. People want the real you. People don't want the Facetune you. People don't want the Photoshopped you. They want the real you. Because let's say if you're doing a meet and greet or if you're speaking at an event and you ask your fans to come there, if you don't look like, or if you don't act like whatever you act like on camera, they're going to be like, this person is completely different to what they look like in the Instagram stories. And then that way you're going to start losing the trust with your supporters. And that's something that is so important. Trust is so important. If you lose trust on your supporters, you're going to keep on losing them like that. Because once one supporter is a little bit annoyed, they're going to start telling their friends, oh guys, don't go and see this person or don't go and see that person because they aren't really like how they are on social media. And then they're going to start unsubscribing, and then they're going to start unfollowing, and they're just going to turn all bad, and you're going to go back to square one. And you want to stay at the square you were in. You want to stay there, and you want to carry on going. And someone actually commented it on my post today that I posted this morning when we were coming here. And they were saying, you can't look, the only reason why you should look back is to trace your steps. If you want to look at something or how you got to the journey, you can trace your steps. But that's the only thing that you can do, or the only thing that you should be doing. Because if you don't trust, or if people start taking, or people don't, if people stop having trust of you, then that way you're gonna start losing trust. And even maybe your friends are gonna be like, all your followers aren't trusting you anymore. Does that mean I can still trust you? And that means your friendship starts breaking and your supporters start breaking. And all the relationships that you have are going to start breaking. So that's why it's so important to always keep everything real. And if you always have that thought in your head, oh, I need to say it real, because when I'm speaking on stage, there's a different energy that I get when I'm speaking on camera. When I'm speaking on camera, I may speak a little bit differently. Or when people go on camera, they might have a little bit of a higher pitched voice or a lower pitched voice. But when they're on stage, they just go, hi, today we're going to do speaking. I'm going to invite you guys on stage. And you just kind of see the different energy that you get. And that's why taking action is so important, and grabbing opportunities, as I was saying when I was talking about purpose. Every single thing that you take or every action that you take, you have to see that as a step closer to your goal. Because as I was saying, the minute you feel like giving up, the minute you are closest to your dream. That's why you can never give up. You always have to grab those opportunities, because those opportunities can be 2 more steps closer to your dream. And that's why it's so important to keep everything in mind, to keep it real. Because that way you can continuously keep making trust with people. You can continuously keep helping people. Because if they don't think that you're helping them, then why would people think that they should help you back? Does this make sense? Okay, cool. So now I'm actually going to do a little visualization for you guys before Eric gets into the next session. But could you guys please close your eyes? Please close your eyes. I can see you guys. Well, if you look at how you may have acted like when you were a child, what were your dreams when you were a kid? Maybe it was to be a doctor, maybe it was to fly to the moon, or maybe it was to become a celebrity or become a YouTuber. Whatever it was your dream was, I guarantee you that it probably faded away by the expectations that were given to you, by the conditionings that were given to you from the world, from the society, from how you grew up, from school, from wherever it is, from the public. One of your dreams or one of those ambitions would have faded away because you couldn't stay true to yourself. Now, thank goodness that you guys are here today. And hopefully that means that you guys are going to start using your time wisely. Because maybe before you came here, you just didn't really know what to do with your dreams. You just didn't really know how to get to them. You just didn't really know who you were anymore. And there's a point in your life where you get to an identity crisis. You don't know what you should do. You don't know what might be your future in life. You don't know what you want to do in the future. You just don't know. And when you don't know, you start distracting yourself and procrastinating by trying to go out with friends and trying to make yourself happy and feeding yourself happiness. But you don't actually realize that you're full already. You're starving yourself, or you're making yourself too full of happiness. And that's why we need to start being true to ourselves. True to our family, true to our friendships, true to the people who we love, true to the supporters that we may have. You always need to be true to yourself. You can't be true to someone else if you know that you're hiding secrets from yourself and you don't want to believe them. Being yourself is the most ideal thing you can do if you're starting to get to a new ambition. The first thing you need to do is to be yourself. Don't do everything else. Don't make a routine until you have been yourself, until you are fully comfortable with being in your own skin. Because if you're not, that will take over you. That will start coming back at you in the future. And that's why we always have to be true to ourselves. Being true to yourself isn't just for other people, but it's for yourself. You will feel happier yourself, you will feel more free yourself, and you feel more worthy to get to your goals. And that's the one message I want you guys to take away from this event, or from this presentation. Always to be myself, always to be true to myself, always to love myself, always to believe in myself, always to be myself. And that's the message I want you guys to take away. So when you guys are ready, please open your eyes. How was that? Good? Okay, cool. So, I know that we're a little bit tired now because we just opened our eyes, but that's coming to the end of this presentation, unfortunately. It's how they can
The
find
most
me.
important one.
Yeah. So this is where you can find me to find more inspiration. And thank you for listening to my speech.
It's okay for a 12-year-old, isn't it? What were you doing when you were 12? Inspiring people. You know what's really cool? Some of you seen the video, I think it was